Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So it's been pretty cold out here and I'm not really a fan of the cold, so I haven't been really doing much work inside the garage. I've been trying to find things to do inside the house, which is a little bit more crafty and, like in one of my Instagram posts where I posted pictures of my new door lock stickers that I've made. I'll show you guys those door lock stickers so that you guys maybe could make some of your own. This isn't a video on how to make those. Those are pretty self-explanatory. You just basically cut them out of vinyl. This is going to be something else. It's a little surprise. You guys are going to like this. Alright guys, so here's the vinyl sticker that I've made. Looks really good. You can't even tell that it's not OEM. So, yeah. This was actually cut from Oracle 651 red vinyl. So all you really need to is get a sheet of that, measure out the sticker, cut an arrow into it, and you're kind of good. So I don't really have to do a how-to on that because that's pretty straightforward. What we are going to do is we're going to make this. It's a personal box. This isn't flocked. It is a actual liner piece that I've made for this. This is actually my version 2. I've finally made a version 3, which is actually made out of plastic. And I'm going to show you guys how to make that. All right, guys, so we're inside the house now. So this is version 2. This one's the one that I pulled out of the car. This one is a version 3, which is the one that's made out of plastic. So this is the version that I'm going to show you guys how to make. This one here is version 2, which is made out of cardboard-like material. Version 1 was actually made out of paper, which I've scrapped long ago because it didn't hold up. So I'm going to pull this one out, and I'm going to swap this one in there. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to show you how to make this. There you go. This is the original liner that I made. So that one comes out. This one can go in. So before I do that, I'm going to be ripping out some of this stuff because these areas need to be blocked off with some, I guess, foil tape or some sort of tape so that you can tape this onto the surface. So having foil tape is really easy for me to just install a new one essentially. Alright, with the 2 foil tapes stick on there, I'm just going to get some double-sided tape to add on the back of this. Basically some double-sided tape onto the back here and back here. Alright, now we can just install this into here. Just push it down, just stick it on. There you go. And then now we just have to add this no smoking sticker to it. There you go. We got another. This one's a finished personal box, which you can remove in the future if you ever decide to smoke. Alright guys, so to start off is you want to make a template of your ashtray. So I made a template manually first, and then I basically turned the manual drawing into a computer drawing so that I have like many of these templates to work with. So basically you would do one with just paper and outline all this kind of stuff. So make sure all the measurements are correct. Then you transfer that over to your software. So basically I've created this design already myself so that I have something to work with. Now we're just basically going to cut this out and then stencil it onto the plastic material that we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this out, and then we're going to get back to it after I'm done cutting it out. Alright, I think that's good enough for the cleanup. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're going to stick this onto our material. Alright guys, so we've taped it onto the plastic material that we'll be using. This is going to be our liner basically, that we're going to be putting some felt over just to create this kind of shape, right? So with this, I'm going to basically cut out this shape in the same way of this. So with it already taped on here, we're going to be using a ruler and we're going to be using a precision knife and just tracing all these kind of edges and all that stuff out so that it is perfectly same shape as this piece of paper template. So let's get to that. of it out, while this part is still kind of attached, I'm going to start bending all these lines that I've made, because otherwise it's going to be hard to follow this template if I don't do that now. Alright, with the bends in place, now we're just going to finalize the final cuts. There you go. And that's basically it. You don't really need this inside piece anymore. The template is done. And that's how we have a liner now. Now you can just test fit it, make sure it all fits perfectly. Like so. And that looks pretty good, right? And with it formed in here, in the ashtray, you know where to bend the next line, because that's where you need to bend it for the top. Just like that. And that is how it will sit, as you can see. So with this complete, we're able to kind of fold this back, and we're going to line it with felt now. And you don't have to use felt. I just found felt cheaper than getting flock. Flock costs quite a bit of money here, so I didn't want to spend on the flock. You could essentially flock this thing if you wanted to, spray the adhesive on here and flock it, and that will look more like the OEM. So next, basically size it up onto your template here, because this is what you're going to be putting it on. So I like to go like a little bit over each edge, because you're going to be wrapping it around afterwards. Alright, so with that done, this will basically lay on top like here. So we're going to basically get some glue, and we're going to paste it all over this side and also on the piece of vinyl. So the type of glue that we're going to be using is basically this contact cement. This stuff is great. You just paste it on, wait for it to dry, and then you can stick the two sides together. So no mess, and it's instant contact, almost as good as super glue. So yeah, so with this stage, you're just gonna flatten this out a little bit and then paste it all over. Now we gotta let this dry before we contact it together. Alright, so as long as this adhesive is dry to the touch, it should be okay. But why you would want to leave it for 15 minutes is because if it isn't, it lifts off of the material, and then you're going to have to apply more and wait for it to dry. So I think this might be okay. So once it's okay, you basically take your piece and you're gonna stick it on. Like this one is dry, you could totally touch it and it's dry. Just gotta be careful sticking this on because it's like a kind of a one-time stick. Like that. And then use a knife and we're gonna cut out all the edges. Just like that, you're cut out. And just make sure it's adhered properly. And then we're gonna trim the edges a little bit so that we could apply some adhesive on the back here so that we could stick it on. All right, now we're gonna apply some adhesive on the backs here so that we could stick it. All right, so now we can let that dry for about 15 minutes. All right, now we can flip it over and we'll do the other side, which is these edges here. And you just want a little bit of an overlap on here because when you bend it, you're not going to be able to see it. And once that's stuck on, looks pretty good. We're going to trim it all off with a razor blade. So just go around, trim any that don't look completely even and flush. So I think that's dry enough for me to roll this now. So you just pinch and roll and it just adheres. All right, now we're going to be applying adhesive on certain areas here. I'm just going to cut a couple more slits. There you go. Now you just gotta wait for that to dry, 15 minutes, roll it, and then we're gonna tape it together. Almost there. All right, now it's time to fold up, I guess, the final edges. There you go. This is now ready to be assembled. And this will roll up like that. So we're gonna use some foil tape to tape it all together. You can use whatever tape you want. But I find I like using foil tape because it's a metal tape. It should be pretty durable. First things first is I like to tape up these corners. So make sure that these corners are all good. Second corner done. So you want to just keep checking here to make sure that the seams don't show. So just go around and tape all these edges up. Now here's the very important part. The OEM one has this middle section dipped down. And there's a good reason for that because of the light in your ashtray. When the light hits it, it's just gonna rub this area. So you do have to make it dip down a little bit. So how you would do that is you put it in to your ashtray. You hold it all down, like all the areas that you think is going to be good. Then what you're gonna do is you pinch maybe about like a centimeter of it here, and you're gonna fold that down. Like that. So you can see this crease here. You're gonna fold that down, pull this out. So you've got to figure out where these end points are. So the two end points are pretty much around here that we want to flex down. So with that being said, you take it out and you bend that area down as well. That way we have it flexed. So as you can see, it is creating that shape here. So now you're just going to keep pinching it and pushing down. Pinching, pushing down, pinching, pushing down. So now we have that nice curve, as you can see. And you put it back to your ashtray, obviously, and you just keep molding it until you get that nice uniform shape. So that's a pretty good shape right there. So where it bonds to the ashtray is just these two corners here. And I've shown you guys earlier in the video on how to install it, but we will do it again in this video. Like that. Then we're going to use some double-sided tape. With the double-sided tape in there, all you do is put this over in there, press down, like so, and there you go. That is what it would look like after you've installed it. And you've got that nice dip here. If you want, you can use some black electrical tape on the back here so you don't see the foil, but it doesn't really bother me. You can't really see it. It's pretty much blocked. Now you just add yourself a no smoking sticker, and you've got yourself a new tray. And then now just to show you guys how removable this is, even with the double-sided tape, you just lift it right out like that, and it comes right out. And you just have to replace the double-sided tape, and you're good. Alright guys, so once you're done basically assembling it, this is what it'll look like. It's all nice and finished, and it looks really good. And this one is the one that we just made through the video. This one's going out to my friend Germs, so I hope you enjoy this, Germs. This is going to be a nice, cool little addition to our Hondas. And shout out to my sister for helping me print these stickers. I designed them, but she printed them. And if you guys are interested, I may be able to make a few more of these and ship them out. Obviously, I'll ship them out flat, and you guys could assemble them. And I'll include the no smoking sticker, as well as double-sided tape and maybe some foil tape as well for you guys to fully assemble it. But let me know, hit me up in Instagram if you guys are interested, and I might be able to make some more, maybe buy some more materials and make it. They will be handmade, so obviously they're not perfect. They're not going to be exactly like the OEM, but it looks pretty close, and it is removable. Alright guys, so that's basically it for making a personal box. Hit me up on Instagram and let me know if you guys would like me to make more of these and ship them out. I'm open to that, as long as it doesn't cost me a fortune to ship. It is pretty expensive to ship in Canada or to anywhere around the world. But that's basically it for this video, guys. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe, and share my videos. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.